This is the new iPhone 7. At least one of them is. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and you're watching GadgetMatch. If you look on the outside, the new iPhone 7 isn't very different from last year's models. It's been this way for 3 years running. It's got the same rounded corners, aluminum unibody, and circular home button. So how do you tell the 7 apart from the 6S or the 6? One way is to flip the phone around and look for the antenna bands. You know, those solid lines that used to dart across the phone's backside. They're gone now. Well, sorta. They're actually still there, but Apple's tried to obscure them from view this time around. The camera humps are bigger, not smaller. And there are new finishes. If last year saw the addition of rose gold, this year Apple says goodbye to space gray. And in its place comes two kinds of black, matte and shiny. The darker shade on these models also hide the antenna bands better. Of the two, the shiny jet black model is eye candy, but just know it's a fingerprint magnet and that it scratches easily. Also, rose gold is now less pink, more peach, and silver gets a lighter, almost whitish shade. Another change is felt, not seen. While the iconic home button and fingerprint sensor looks the same, it's actually not a button anymore. Like the trackpad on newer Mac laptops, it's just a touch surface with some high-tech stuff underneath. It still feels like a button, but you're not really pushing down on one anymore. A Taptic engine underneath responds to your touch and sends up a haptic response. When the phone is off, you won't feel any press at all. We're not sure if we like this change, although it's not as bad as some people think, but it will take some getting used to. Apple says they did it to make the home button more responsive, customizable, and durable. The biggest design change, however, is not one that was added, but one that was taken away. Say goodbye to Jack. No, not that Jack. This one. It joins other tech that Apple's killed off before users could wrap their heads around the idea. So yeah, if you want to listen to music, Apple's bundled new earpods that plug in to the lightning port. But this means you can't charge while listening to music, or the other way around. If only the phone supports wireless charging. Now, if you'd like to use a different pair of headphones like these, Apple includes an adapter and sells you extras for $9 a pop if and maybe when you lose it. Apple calls the move courage, we call it capitalism, because it encourages the sale of its new $159 wireless earbuds called AirPods. But we get why Apple says it takes courage to rock the boat. They believe that being tied down to cables goes against the very essence of what a mobile device should be about. And if we were to inch closer to that completely wireless world, somebody's gotta do it. It will be a painful transition, but maybe one day it'll all make sense. And based on Apple's track record, it usually does. In some respects, this year's update saw Apple playing catch up to its competitors. We love the fact that the iPhone 7 is now finally shower-proof. I mean, water-resistant. Like Samsung and Sony phones have been for many years now. We still don't recommend taking the phone swimming, and warranty doesn't cover water damage, but the iPhone 7 should survive getting soaked in the rain, an accidental spill, or a good rinse. Also long overdue is bumped up storage capacity. The base model now comes with 32 gigabytes of storage, and you can get up to 256 gigabytes of space. In other areas, there are only incremental improvements. There's a bigger battery that takes around the same time to charge, but lasts 2 hours longer. A brighter display that makes use under the sun easier, and consuming multimedia content more enjoyable. And a faster Fusion processor. Not that we've ever had complaints about iPhone performance. As can be expected, apps run smooth, fast, and hiccup-free. But as it's often the case with Apple, it's the well-thought-out little things that make the biggest impact. Like stereo speakers, one that's off to the side and one that faces you. I can't say enough how good it is to have front-facing speakers on a smartphone. And even if these both look like speaker grills, the speakers are here, the mic is here. So if you're like me and you hold the phone like this while playing a game or watching a video, you don't inadvertently cover the speakers. The Taptic engine also now provides more haptic feedback for certain actions like a bump when you swipe down the notification shade. Apple says it's about an experience you can feel, and while it's nothing to rave about, it does feel like you're interacting with a live device, not a cold piece of hardware. Where it seems Apple's spent the most time on is in improving the iPhone's camera. Both the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus have the same 12-megapixel cameras, but with a new sensor and better lenses, with a faster 1.8 aperture for better low-light performance, and that creamy depth effect when shooting subjects up close. The iPhone 7 now finally has optical image stabilization built in to reduce shaky shots, especially in situations like this where there's hardly any light, while the iPhone 7 Plus comes with 2 rear cameras. Yep, 2 rear cameras. The same wide one that's found on the iPhone 7 and a telephoto lens that lets you zoom in closer on subjects. When you launch the camera, there's a zoom button right here. You tap to jump from 1x to 2x, or you can tap and drag to control the amount of zoom. From 1x to up to 2x optical zoom and all the way up to 10x digital zoom. Apple promises photos not previously possible on an iPhone. While in our tests the results were not as dramatic, they are indeed better. Take a look at more sample shots. Do we think the iPhone 7 has the best camera in a smartphone? Probably not. Here are some side-by-side comparisons with the Note 7. Also, while we're comparing, the iPhone 7 doesn't focus as fast as the Note 7 either. If you love selfies, the front-facing camera gets a bump up to 7 megapixels. It's actually our selfie camera of choice. Apple's also kept its Retina Flash feature that uses the display as a flash, changing colors to match the ambient light for a more natural look. Apple's also proud of its main flash, now with 4 LED bulbs instead of 2 for better illumination. And let's not forget about video performance. Because the iPhone 7 has OIS, videos look more stabilized. The iPhone can also shoot pretty good slow-mo video. Sure, the iPhone 7 didn't make that big a leap in terms of hardware and features, but where it did make changes, it made bold moves. While the removal of the headphone jack is an inconvenience and the new home button takes getting used to, we see the iPhone 7 as a necessary step in the direction that Apple wants to go. In 2016, it isn't as exciting as, say, the Note 7 from Samsung, regardless of its current issues. But what Apple does so well is that it ensures everything works and works great, and the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus are no exceptions. They're backed up by good hardware, great software, and a rich ecosystem of apps and services that all make up an experience that till now is unmatched. And for that, we give it the GadgetMatch seal of approval. So, is the iPhone 7 your gadget match? If you're looking for a sexy new phone with revolutionary features, this isn't it. If you're an Android user looking for a reason to switch, now isn't the time. If you own the 2 previous iPhones, waterproofing, stereo speakers, and improved cameras are compelling enough reasons to upgrade. But you may want to wait. 2017 is the 10th anniversary of the iPhone, and we hear magical things are being cooked up. So, why should you get the iPhone 7?
It's the best iPhone that we have ever created.
If money isn't an issue and you want the best iPhone available today, or if you're long overdue for an upgrade, go for it. The iPhone 7 will not disappoint. If you want a bigger, higher resolution screen, long battery life, and that new dual camera feature, get the iPhone 7 Plus. Otherwise, you'll be plenty happy with the iPhone 7. Which model do you prefer, and what do you think of the iPhone 7? Let us know by leaving a message in the comments section below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow GadgetMatch on social media. Plus, visit GadgetMatch.com daily. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.